We wrote a few things down that we wanted to say to express our thanks. And I'm just going to read it. Hope you're okay with that. We are all here because of a shared grief in these impossible moments when the earth stops rotating. We recalibrate to what is important. For us, it's Christ, love, our family, and our friends. Many of you know that Dee and I were brought-ins, and Dee visited this area, this community, and she decided that this is where she wanted to live, even though we didn't know a soul, except for her parents, Don and Elsie. They're here somewhere. They came with us. Other than that, we didn't know a soul. We have realized over time, and obviously today, it's extremely obvious that you guys have taken us in, and that this is where we belong. We've read all the things that have been posted on social media. Okay, I didn't read them on social media. Somebody had to read it to me. But, and the texts and the phone calls, and I want to say we very much appreciate it. It's been a great help. I don't think we can ever express how much that has meant to us. And it's obvious that you knew Winton just like we knew Winton. So in the back of the table there, he has his little Bible, and in the inside cover, he wrote some things down. They're not his quotes. They're kind of just paraphrases of quotes that he liked. One of them that was, "Give thanks even for the hard things." So with that in mind, to the people of this community, to the friends of Winton and Peyton that are here, to their cousins, to my cousins, to my brothers and sisters, to Dee's brothers, brother and sister-in-law, to our great friends that have flown in, dropped what they're doing, flown in, drove in, and came here, to all of you, we would not be able to get through this without you. And thank you will never be enough, but thank you. Peyton has some things that he's written, and he'd like to share with you.
I'm going to read this. Thank you all for coming. It means the world to my family and me. You are so loved, and this is proof. I want to acknowledge all the effort by so many people that was put into what I'm hopefully going to be able to get through here today. So thank you all. When thinking about all that made Winton who he was, there are a few themes that keep coming up in conversation. And I'd like to share a little bit about each of those. First and foremost, Winton is Winton. The phrase that was said on numerous occasions in our household. He was completely authentic and 100% unique. There was not an indecisive bone in his body, and solutions were on his terms, his way. When it was also impossible to pry away from something he cared about until he was satisfied with the way he was leading it. I can't tell you how many times we were late for something because Winton would not leave a project in anything less than perfect shape. Just a sec, he would always yell. Another thing about Winton, his relationships span generations. He had relationships with people half his age, 3 times his age, and anywhere in between. I believe this is because everyone recognized and was touched by his authenticity. He loved spending time with our cousins, who ranged from 12 to 34 years old. And, age didn't matter to him. The quality of the person was his only criteria. Speaking of authenticity, Winton always said that what he felt. He's still working. Yes, still working. Winton always said what he felt, regardless of the consequences. There was no sugarcoating involved. Anyone who ever had a conversation with Winton knows this. You always knew where you stood with Winton, and his love for people was deep. Winton was also very protective of family. I remember being in first grade, and I had been getting bullied at school. One day when my parents came to pick me up, Winton came with them and saw me being bullied. And he got right in the face of that boy, who was significantly bigger than 3-year-old Winton. And he said, "Stop picking on my brother," jabbing his finger into the boy's chest with every word. My dad got to feel some of that ferocity as well when he and Mom were having an argument around that same time. Music was probably Winton's favorite thing in this world. And that love of music is a very important theme in his life. Winton self-taught himself guitar at a young age, and his music always filled our house with joy from that day forward. He played in our church's praise and worship band throughout high school, and I think it's safe to say that his passion on stage was evident to everyone in the congregation on a regular basis. Winton also had a playlist for everything, and I mean everything. There are obvious things that music goes along with, like working out or laying out relaxing. But there's also music to go along with every activity in his day. Just woke up in the morning, there's a playlist. Taking a shower, there's a playlist. You have to go to the bathroom. Everything in his life had to be accompanied by music. And Winton and music were a perfect fit. Anyone who ever met Winton has a story to go with it. There was no knowing him any other way. I'd like to take a few minutes now and just share some Winton stories. When Winton and I were very little, we had these little motorized trucks that we loved to ride around in. But our favorite thing to do with them was something we figured out almost as soon as we got them. You realize that if we faced the trucks uphill, if the power was right, the trucks would flip backwards and send us rolling down the hill, flat and go away. Leave it to Winton to immediately find a bizarre way to have so much fun. As I mentioned earlier, everything Winton did had to have the perfect song to go with it. There are a couple of specific instances where this was on full display. Winton loved to host bonfires at our house for all his friends. In our garden house, we start fires with gasoline, the more the better. So we were all ready to start the fire, just waiting for Winton to light it, but he wouldn't. He was just standing there. And right about the time we were going to tell him to just hurry up and light it already, the chorus of the song in the background started in on "Light It Up," and Winton timed it perfectly. Another time, Winton and some friends were at the lake with us, and we were all jumping from this clearing into the water below. Several of us had already jumped, but Winton was still standing at the top, not moving. Naturally, we all started to tease him about being afraid to jump, but he was unfazed. Then right as the song in the background kicked into the chorus with "Now jump," he leaped into the air, knowing full well he wasn't scared. He just wanted the right music to accompany his fun. In high school, Winton and I got our scuba diving licenses. And one of the first trips we went on after that, we decided to go on a shipwreck dive with Dad. We were on a guided dive group, and everyone else was very methodical and taking things super seriously, not Winton. He was there to enjoy the experience, and the group was cramped in style. So we were all looking through the ship. We see Winton acting like he's falling off in front of the ship. When we got back up to the surface later, we asked him why he did that. He said, "Why not? It was fun." Now, who could argue with that? Just last week, we were so fortunate to have spent 5 days on the lake with Winton, along with some of our relatives. And these last couple stories are from that time. Winton was very particular about how he dressed. He always knew how to make you laugh. So on this trip, he decided to use his clothes to get some laughs. So the first day, he came out wearing a crazy Hawaiian shirt with American flag trunks. And the cousins immediately said that he looked like a Chad, and we kept calling that for the rest of the trip. Winton loved it. The next day, he came out wearing super short blue trunks and a white tank top. And a few minutes later, our cousin Taylor came out wearing pretty much the same thing. She thought this was hilarious, and so they became Buffy and Chad. And of course, there were photo shoots soon after. Winton carried the joke throughout the rest of the vacation, each day wearing some new crazy outfit just to make us laugh, which he did. On this trip, we also rented jet skis for a day we had looked forward to ever since we started planning the trip. Sure enough, as soon as we got on them, he took off with our cousin John on the back. It looked like they were having just about as much fun as any person could have. One time though, Taylor was looking around and only saw the bottom of Winton's jet ski. She got super nervous and raced over to make sure everything was okay. And sure enough, Winton and John were in the water on the other side, just laughing and laughing. When he saw Taylor, he joked, "I just can't get these turns down." And then he and John sped off. Our last day of vacation, there was a storm coming in, and we had to get off the lake so we didn't get caught out in the rain. So we all climbed back in the boat, turned around and saw Winton still floating out in the water, completely relaxed and carefree. He was listening to one of his favorite songs being played over the speakers on the boat, and he wasn't going to let little rain hurry him up. Just like that. The final thing I want to talk about is how much Winton enjoyed driving. It was a type of therapy for him. Whenever he was stressed, mad, or sad, he would be up finding a road where he could roll down the windows and just drive with his music blasting until he was happy again. But Winton didn't just drive when things were bad. More often than not, Winton drove simply because it was beautiful outside, and he had just added songs to his driving playlist that he couldn't wait to listen to. Winton was fun-loving, charismatic, funny, sweet, and caring, and he was a really great person. I'm lost today without my brother by my side. There's not a thing in this world I wouldn't trade for him to still be here. But I take comfort knowing he was doing something that gave him peace. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will see him again in heaven. Until that day, Whitten, I will keep on missing you. I love you. Our family wanted to play this short video clips of Whitten being Whitten to close out today. We had a lot of help with this, and in fact, without our youngest cousin, this would still be just an idea. There are clips of fun times, clips of music and song, and very recent clips of him chronicling the journey learning the guitar. Whitten didn't think he was much of a vocalist, but that never stopped him from singing. And his passion is unmistakable.
So when somebody please pass the